actually hire American pronunciation analysis to ask him how I actually have it pronounced. I said things were not going as good as used to be. You know what, the first week passed by, and the second week, you know what, it was about the time when third week, it was about, I really actually said that. If you ever actually have any doubt about it, please actually rewind it or hire any American pronunciation analysis. My reaction was at the end quick. I never even actually had any type of suspicion. Everything was beautifully presented. Even actually the first syllable was presented in the past tense because I already perceived it was the third week. I said it immediately. The very first syllable that came out of my mouth was presented in the present, no, in the past tense, and everything was really easy. But the problem is, you know what? I swear to God, I really actually talked to myself in Korean. What about number two? What about two? 근데 yeah, 어떡하지? Because I wanted to actually, I was just, you know, one step away from blurting out George. But does this make sense? You know, maybe once they actually hire this lady, she is really the person who's been part of it as a head of the nursery department until she would be retired, until she would actually, you know, make a step. Whatever, you know what, just see whatever works to get it correct. That was really the mindset. But my first choice was definitely George and Charlotte. I even actually imagine George wearing a shower robe or a garb when he was actually meeting, you know, President Obama back then. That was a very thought came to my mind. But number two was, you know, really bizarre because since we've been actually with, you know, a third child for so many years, I was thinking something's not right. So I actually even thought to myself, and I just really have another evidence to clear my name from this type of Tory charging. Number two, just like the, you know, Periwinkle, the Rip Van Winkle, it was actually a story written in the 20th century, but still actually it is presented. He sleeps for more than 20 years. Like many of the personality quizzes, I actually saw that it has been truly historical, except historical facts. Who is a mother of American patriotism like this? Even though that event happened many years ago, they've been actually asking in that way. And technically, I could not ever overcome this number two. So I actually said, whatever that may be, you know, just whatever that works. And number three, this whole notion of the tense issue was something that I thought much later. If there was any person who's been truly reading or breathing down my neck, they could hear my voice. I was not minding the tense issue at all. But after actually getting it wrong, that kind of, you know, bizarre idea was creeping on me. What if those assholes say that I got this wrong because of this other reason than what eventually made me wrong? What if they would actually do that? All of a sudden, this bug of suspicion was crawling on me because of my, you know, bullying experience. What if they would? Because they had a nasty tendency. If I ever actually don't get the answer, they always, you know, put a blame on my English. Your weak English was the reason you didn't get it. Doesn't matter. I had a slightly different approach. Never even actually think about the things. I was, you know, very, very, you know, straightforward to talk to myself internally, even in Korean. 근데 인데? I could not actually overcome this numerical discrepancy. So I actually took a radical distance from that answer that I had on my mind really quickly to at least, you know, like get it much, you know, suitable. You know, I kind of actually had it adjusted really quickly, instantaneously. Every single time there's a little, you know, a breach or like whatever type of gap between the answer and my choice, then they always, regardless of whatsoever, and totally unfounded by the actual mindset or reasoning procedure I had gone through, they always blame my English. Your English was really weak as hell not to be native. Excuse me. I really clearly thought to myself in Korean, 근데인데? 어떡하지? 말하기 전에 분명히 근데인데라고 했어요. 근데인데. 들릴 거예요. 들어보세요. Susan B. Anthony's centennial year. 19th amendment. 19th amendment. You got it. I got it. 19th Women's, you know, Voting Rights Amendment. I never miss it. I swear to God. You should always, you know, think out loud. That's all I'm asking for you to do. So, you know what? You would rather be a schizophrenic to think out loud. Always leave, you know, evidence. Evidence is what it is about. You don't want to actually be, you know, because, you know, if you actually reach a destination by taking different route, that destination is literally off base, then it doesn't matter what type of route you had taken. They always blame my English. They always incriminate my English for being the very culprit and guilty party because they can never actually accept the fact that I would be like a native. Even actually, you know what, real American made a stupid mistake saying that it was actually written in the past tense. You know, he said as someone really recent person. He is really kind of current figure. Why that has been done? Because, you know, we were solving the quiz. You know, sometimes you really kind of, you know, push it into a category. You just want to say whatever things that works. You just say, you know what, he is still alive. That kind of person is still alive. He said something really stupid. I saw it. The New Yorker, America's Coronavirus, and the Wall Street Journal. Today's issue arrived. Kill Bumjendal Zinka, Illinois.
State gateways for 400.
George Bush Intercontinental Airport.
Texas.
Jill.
What is Texas?
That's right.
State gateways for 600, please.
Louis Armstrong International.
Kentucky.
Wendy.
What's Louisiana?
Right.
Louisiana.
800, please.
Logan International.
LA, Los Angeles, California.
What is Massachusetts?
That's correct.
Massachusetts.
State gateway is 1,000.
Wiley Post Will Rogers Memorial Airport.
Montana.
What is Oklahoma?
Oklahoma.
Wendy.
What's California?
No. They were lost in a plane flight in Alaska.
Alaska.
Hence that designation. We go back to Michael.
Creepers and crawlers for 200.
Organisms in the intestines of these communal insects help them to digest.
Termites.
Wendy.
What are termites?
Right.
Stop staring at me for 200, please.
I will. It's probably Led Zeppelin's most famous song, though the group never released it as a commercial single.
Meatloaf.
Michael.
What is Stairway to Heaven?
Right.
A steroid.
Creepers and crawlers for 400.
It's an insect larva that literally feeds on books or a person. who
Bookworms.
doesn't
Bookworms.
Michael.
What is a bookworm?
We're right.
Creepers and crawlers for 600.
The scientific name of this insect is Mantis religiosa.
Praying mantis.
What's praying mantis? Creepers and crawlers for 8, please.
There are pea, grain, and boll varieties of these beetles. Michael.
What is a weevil?
Weevil.
Creepers and crawlers for 1,000.
Weevil.
Cottonmouth snake is also known by this name that sounds like Native American footwear. Wendy.
Hush
What's
puppy.
a water moccasin?
That's right.
Stop staring
Water
at me for
moccasin.
400, please. The hidden staircase here may indicate that the House of the Seven Gables was once a stop on this system that led slaves to freedom.
Michael.
What is the Underground Railroad?
Correct.
The underground.
Stop staring at me for 600.
I didn't know that.
Named for the massive statues of Mars and Neptune that flank it, the Giant's Staircase is found at this Venetian palace. Michael.
What is the Palace of the Dojis?
The Palace of the Witch.
Stop staring at me for 800.
This Belle Kaufman novel, set at Calvin Coolidge High School, has become a modern classic. Wendy.
Watership down.
The down staircase.
Yes.
Down staircase.
Stop staring at me for 1,000, please.
Life is no picnic for the Flood family in his 1957 play, The Dark at the Top of the Stairs.
Arthur Miller.
And the author is William Inge. All right.
William.
Jill at minus first double jeopardy, but before we get to all of that, we're going to be talking to the contestants right after this. Come. Lockman is our champ.
Let me actually go to the bathroom. Hang on. Let me actually go to the bathroom. I'm so